The boat I'm going to be taking is a Pacific Sea Craft Flicka 20 from the top of the bowsprit all the way to the outboard motor. It's approximately 24 feet long. It's a very small boat. In fact, if you kind of notice the outboard motor, it is an electric motor. I have no propane, no diesel. This is an all-electric boat. With perhaps one exception, and I'm going to carry a small little portable generator and about 2 gallons of fuel just as a backup. You can also see the kind of the redneck air conditioner or window air conditioner in the companionway. I'll bring that along with me as well, and I can run that off of the battery for an hour or two a night. And we'll do that just to kind of cool the boat off to allow me to sleep. But this will be the home. Well, the adventure has begun. This is day one. Left the channel, no real issues. Just going to go about 25 miles today to a little island area, and we're going to anchor. Weather is good. The winds are going to be so-so, a little on the light side. In fact, I'm only doing about 3.3 knots. So we only have to go about 25 miles, so it'll take all day. Hopefully we'll get to the anchorage around 4 or 5 o'clock. But other than that, so far so good. Of course, we're only in hour 1. We'll see what hour 3 or 4 is like when the winds are supposed to die and it's going to get miserably hot. But we'll find out. These two sticks mark the famous Gomez Rock. Now, I'm not sure who Gomez was, but in order to be famous and have this rock named after him, he probably had a very, very bad day when he discovered it. Gomez Rock. Well, as expected, the wind has died. Fortunately, it's not quite as hot as I thought it would be, so I've tacked, but we are progressing at about 1.5 miles per hour, and for reference, I walk at about 3 miles per hour. But we're going to head this way for maybe another 30-40 minutes or so. I'll tack again. We're still maybe 12 miles from where I want to anchor. So we're all right. If the wind shifts and gains a little speed at around 3-4 o'clock, like I'm hoping, we should get to our anchorage at around 6 o'clock. But right now it's slow go. Well, I just set the anchor at the anchorage. We have one boat to keep us company tonight. I first thought we might get some thunderstorms here in about an hour or two, but latest check of the weather says it should be a nice peaceful night. Decent breeze, not too hot, a lot of overcast, so didn't get beat with the sun, but just slow. We averaged about 2.5 miles an hour for the day. Not too good, but we're here. And now it's time to maybe do a little swim and work on dinner. Okay, for the first meal, I'm doing fajitas, chicken fajitas. I use an electric fry pan to fry up and warm up the chicken fajitas, and then to cook the tortillas. Since this is an electric boat, I have no stove or oven other than a microwave. But everything has to be done using electricity, so I just use small electrical appliances like this fry pan or a rice cooker or a George Foreman, as you'll see later, to cook all my meals. Looks good. Yum, yum, yum. Well, this is what I've awoken to. Looks like a pretty sunrise, but if you look right there, that's a bit of a squall. And off to the right, there's been several lightning strikes, and I don't know if that just got picked up, but also a lot of rumbling. AccuWeather forecast radar map says I'm going to get rained on and maybe even a little bit of a thunderstorm. I'm going to check it again here in about a half hour just to make sure, but might get stuck in the anchorage longer than I wanted to, which will mean getting to Clearwater might be a little tougher. But over here, awesome sunrise. Over here, rumble, thunder, and nothing good. Well, I went ahead and decided to take off. It's supposedly going to be raining on me all day or all night, and so far not a drop. So I went ahead and decided to take off. I'm kind of heading in between the main coast of Florida and a couple of these barrier islands. So what I'm trying to do, while I've got a little bit of wind coming directly to the east, or from the east, is to kind of move up into a gap between these two barrier islands. And then at this point, I'm going to make a right turn, head into the Gulf, and that'll give me more room to maneuver and get me into the next channel, which is the entrance into Clearwater. But so far so good. My speed is right around 2.5 knots, just under 3 miles an hour. So again, not fast, but a lot better than yesterday. Overcast, so at least it's not all that humid nor hot. So far so good. Well, I'm just about at the point where I'm going to make my cut, turn through the cut. You can see the end of the cut right there. And way out there, I don't know if you can see it, there's a stick. And I just need to stay to the left side of that stick. And then I'm pretty much in open Gulf. Wind is behaving nicely. I'm not going particularly fast, but it's been a smooth ride, and at least I'm getting closer and closer to my destination. A couple of dolphins out there swimming around, saying hi. Well, it's been pretty slow going again today, just no wind. But you can see Clearwater in the foreground. Should be there in about an hour and a half or so at this current rate. Pulled out the jib. Every little trick I can think of just to try to give me a little extra speed. But when there's no wind, there's just no speed in a sailboat. Slow and steady. Here's a good shot of Clearwater Beach, and I'm about a mile away from making the turn, and we're going to go underneath that bridge and make another turn, and then we should find our anchorage. But caught a little bit of a tailwind towards the end here, about over the last 45 minutes, and that kind of helped me arrive a little bit quicker. Still, long, slow day, but Clearwater Beach, we have arrived. And the obligatory under the bridge. This is the last little landmark into entering the intercoastal. Clearwater Beach is right over there, and that's kind of where we're going to be anchoring once we get under this bridge. Well, it's Friday morning. I'm here at the Clearwater Beach anchorage. It's nice morning, pretty sunrise, but I'm tired. I'm a little dehydrated. My batteries are running a little low, and the wind It doesn't seem like it's going to be that much better, and supposedly today I was have a 45-mile run down to Fort DeSoto, just south of Tampa Bay. But given that I've been averaging about 2.5 miles an hour, that would take me almost 18 hours or so to complete, and don't really feel like doing an 18-hour slow sail to arrive at a new anchorage at night. So I could use a rest day. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stay here, and now by staying here I kind of really commit myself that I'm going to be here for 2 days. So I floated, I put air in the dinghy, got the dinghy in the water. We'll take a little dinghy trip, see if there's a dinghy dock around here, and maybe explore Clearwater Beach and just kind of hang out. Winds look like finally they'll get better Sunday, and that's when I'll head home. Home is about 50 miles away, and I think I'll do that as a single shot to get a long sail in. But at least what it looks like, I may be able to average 4.5 miles an hour, 5 miles an hour on the way home. So yeah, 10-hour, 12-hour sail to go 50 miles rather than a 10-hour, 12-hour sail to go 20 to 25. So that's the plan. So today we're just going to hang out, do a little boat maintenance, and do a little exploring of Clearwater Beach. Okay, for breakfast I'm going to just kind of make a sausage, egg, cheese scramble. So I use my electric fry pan. The other thing I do is I have my eggs. Before I left, I cracked them open and put them in this old water bottle. And you can see I have it measured out for each line represents 2 eggs. So it's a great way to store the eggs in the refrigerator. And then I'll just pour them in, have my scrambled eggs, and scramble. And since today's a rest day, I put the hammock up and I'll have my breakfast on the bow in the hammock, enjoying a leisurely morning. Well, here we go. Sausage, eggs, cheese scramble, sitting out on a hammock, enjoying the view. Doesn't get much better than this. Alright, I'm in Clearwater. It's in the afternoon. I'm gonna go ahead and head on into the Clearwater Beach Marina in my dinghy. I'm gonna drop off some trash and go explore a little bit. But it's just been kind of an overcast, hazy day. Wind has finally picked up a little bit, but just like I've experienced the last few days, very little wind, swirling, and then every now and then a little pocket. But we're just gonna go have a little fun, get off the boat, see what's out there. Clearwater Beach, always in the top 10 of beaches in the United States. On Pier 60 at Clearwater Beach, just doing a little walkabout. Look at all the folks, and it's still an overcast and not a particular sunny day. Well, you can see sun's already up. It's only about 7:45 in the morning. No breeze. It's gonna be hot. So good day just to kind of hang out near the boat and go swimming and have some breakfast, which today is breakfast tacos. So we'll see how the day goes. Kind of a lazy day so far, just staying at the anchor. So I'll give you a little inside look as to just kind of how I live. You know, I cook my breakfast and I don't have a lot of counter space or sink space, so I pretty much have to do dishes just as soon as I'm done. So have a foot pump for the water, control the amount of water, and use a little Little soap and a little scrubber, and that's all I need to do to get things clean. Doesn't take long. Okay, with the dishes done, what I then do is I made this little cabinet, and I can lift that up, and then I store all my electrical appliances under here, ready to use, and then I use this kind of as a meal preparation. Over in here is kind of my dry storage, where I keep some canned goods and my rice and pasta and stuff like that. And then over here is my refrigerator freezer, and it's small. It's like a giant cooler. It's a car cooler, but on the left side is the refrigerator, and then on the right side is the freezer. So enough to be able to keep drinks cold, and to be able to bring some frozen meats, etc. So all in all, the galley serves me well, and of course I have the trusty microwave. And then up top you'll see this water jug. I use this for all my drinking water, and I use it to brush my teeth. I use the water in the faucet primarily just for washing dishes or taking shower or just kind of cleaning up. But this water is a little cleaner, and I'm able to keep it cleaner, so I use that if I'm going to consume it. The last little piece is how I sleep. So here's the bed made up, but all I have to do is just remove these pillows, roll out the sleep pad and the sleeping bag, and then I put my pillows back, and that's where I sleep. And then on days when it's a little cooler, or if I have the air conditioning on, I can extend the table, and then I can sit down on where the bed is to be able to eat or work or do whatever. So it's all pretty functional. It's a small space. In many ways, I think of it kind of like a camper van of an RV. Great for one person, barely good enough for two, but more than that, it would get pretty crowded pretty quick. But it does have all the basics. And then finally, I do have a very small bathroom, just kind of next to the companionway. It's tight, but you can do everything you need to do when you need to do it. Also in the back, you can see those are 2 of my 3 batteries that are used to power the engine. But the toilet is a Laveo dry flush toilet, so it's like a big diaper genie. It just kind of puts everything into a Mylar bag, and then you throw it away when the trip is done. Yeah, cruised into the marina a little bit just to see what's going on. Walked around a bit, but man, it is just so hot that you spend 5 minutes outside, you're just drenched with sweat. So not very fun to be out and about without shade. So I'm gonna go find me some shade. Here's a picture of the boat as I'm approaching from the dinghy. Kind of see how I rigged the hammock. Just a different view of the boat at sea. Well, a beautiful sunset. My last night here. Waiting for the sun to go down, and then I'm going to be able to watch some Dallas Cowboy football. Even though I'm on a boat, I'm not cut off from civilization. But what a view, for free. I've pulled up anchor, going to head home, and of course, totally unpredicted. Looks like there's a squall out on the Gulf. I double checked my radar app, and it looks like I'm gonna get rain this morning. So far, every time that's been predicted, it hasn't happened. but we'll find out. There's my bridge that I'm going to cross under again in order to hit the Gulf. So, wish me luck. Well, as I was a little concerned, it's now raining. Wind hasn't really been that bad. I went through a little bit of a wind burst, but my sails are reefed, so it wasn't a big deal handling the boat. And now I just got a nice little drizzle, and but at least it's cool. And hopefully once we get out from underneath the storm cloud, we'll be able to pick up a little more speed. It doesn't look like it should last for maybe more than another 30 minutes or so at best. And again, it's just a light drizzle, but it's part of the adventure. Well, little high adventure. It's raining. The wind has picked up, so I'm right in the middle of the storm. But the boat's behaving nicely. I'm just gonna get wet, but at least I'm not hot. Alright, we're in the middle of the storm now. We're doing 4.5 to 5 knots. I got the head sail reefed, full main, and we're cruising. Only casualty is my hat. Fortunately, it was an old hat, but putting the hood on, I accidentally knocked it off, and it is long gone. But other than getting wet, this is sailing. Well, this is a full-fledged rainstorm, and I got to admit, thunderstorm, it got a little exciting, but I was able to reef the sail, close down the head sail, reef the mainsail, and I've got the wind kind of at my back, but the waves are big and the rain is coming down in buckets. Probably not the best time to be out on a boat, but it is nice to know I have the skills to keep the boat afloat. Hopefully the storm will pass and we'll be well on our way home. Well, the sun is out. It stopped raining. I'll spare you all of the drama, but the boat is a mess. Everything was just kind of thrown around. It was a good storm, and we bounced around. And then just as soon as the wind died and the sun came out, I tried to put on my motor, and my motor did not work. And not sure what's wrong with it, but I've figured out a little workaround. So we'll have some propeller power. I just don't know for how much longer, but so far so good. I'm 17 miles from my channel. It's 4:30. We still may make it by 9 o'clock, just as it gets dark, assuming no more storms come, but at least there's a lot of blue skies. Well, this adventure is about finished. I'm about an hour and a half from hitting my channel, and I've got this lovely sunset to kind of welcome me back home. So barring any unforeseen disaster, we should hit the channel and in about 2 hours be at the dock. So adventure is just about over. Well, thanks for sharing the adventure with me. I'm back, got in around 11:30 last night. Learned a lot of things. A few things broke. My biggest challenge right now is the batteries for my motor. I think of the 3 batteries, one of them might be totally shot. I was able to bypass that battery and still get some juice, but over the next couple of days I'm going to troubleshoot that and may have to swap that out, which is unfortunate because that's expensive. But other than that, a few other minor things I'm going to have to do to the boat, some little tweaks here and there, things that I learned that would have been nice or better had I done things differently with the boat layout. And lastly, weather is no joke. That third little storm that I hit around 2 o'clock was pretty epic. But as I've always said, this boat, the Flicka 20, it's very forgiving, even if you make a few mistakes. And she handled that storm like a champ, and got me through and safely back home. So 5-day adventure, didn't go far, but I enjoyed it, and thanks for sharing and coming along with me.